folks, Mike McGee here. In yesterday's video, or at least in a previous video very recently, we promised you we were going to do an experimental sausage or multiple sausages based on fat-meat ratio. A lot of people don't care. A lot of people actually want as little fat as possible in theirs. But if you're carnivore, if you're on a carnivore diet, that's not where you want to go. You need more fat because fat is the only place you're getting your energy, or at least the primary source of energy. So once your body becomes fat adapted, you need fat. So anyway, we're going to try this with different ratios. We're going to start with 50-50, then we're going to work our way up patty by patty. And to start out with, we're going to use some deer. Now, I don't know which one of my boys shot this deer, or if it was me or who, but we had some extra deer meat. We're going to grind it up. We're going to grind this mango leeks of fat from the large hog that we just butchered, and we're going to have them piled separately in this tote so that we can mix our different ratios. And we're going to try that out right now. If you want to turn that on, we'll just start popping it in. The meat smells good. I'll pour this right there. We're starting out with a coarse plate. I'm going to cut this one up until we may as well get some of the meat already. This has got some fat in it, which is deer fat. It's a different fat. It's harder. It's a ruminant fat. You put all that on one side. I'm going to put this fat in and we'll push the rest of the meat out. Here it comes. Alright, let's move this your way. Here we go, fat only. There's our fat, there's our meat. We're actually doing venison for this grind. We've got some wild pork here as well. But with the venison, it gives you the option if you want to cook it a medium or medium rare, which will, by and large, help you from rendering out too much fat. If you've got a very high fat cut of meat and you don't want to render all that out and lose it all, you can do the medium or the rare. All right, we're weighing out some meat here. This deer already has about 10% fat in it, so we're gonna consider that when we mix our pork fat. And that's gonna be a great big patty, but it's gonna be good.
Yes.
We're not gonna season it until we're cooking it, and we're probably gonna use Cajun camp dog. We're gonna mix it in the mixer right here. We've got the small mixer. KitchenAid is a good brand for this type mixing if you just have a small amounts you wanna mix. And as soon as it's mixed up, we're going to fry it up. And we're going to get this puppy rolling because we've got a lot of experimenting to do. Grace, do you think you would be up to some experimental eating?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you full from breakfast?
Pretty full.
Pretty full. Well, if I think it tastes good enough to eat on a full stomach, would you?
I had an upset stomach last night.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm full too. See, I had 2 different kinds of sausage and bacon and 2 eggs today.
Woo!
She said, "You're crazy, McGee." That looks great. It's got good fat particle definition. It's got good meat. The meat was ground once, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is the
We
first
never-
ground.
Okay, this is going to be a one grind deal. We usually grind the meat twice. We probably will do that, depending on how this turns out. Ah.
If you want to dog, you look like this.
Aha.
Little color.
That got a nice sear on it.
Oh yeah.
All right, while that patty's cooling where we can eat it, we're going to go ahead and grind the meat through on a smaller plate. That's going to be the only batch or patty that we eat with that coarse meat. That was honestly a mistake on my part. I forgot. But here we go. I'm going to put that little bit through because it wasn't fully ground. No, it wasn't ground enough.
Ooh, that's pretty.
It is pretty. All right, we ground it through 3 times. Now we're going to have a better bind, I believe, on our patties. All right, now we're going to try the 50-50 batch right now and see how it turned out. And then we're going to get to weighing and mixing a 60-40 batch. And I mean 60 on the fat. Days like today where we have to eat and test things, very rough, very rough. Don't try this at home. All right, it looks like it's going to be a little on the crumbly side.
Okay.
Try whichever one you want there. This is Cajun Camp Dog seasoning, which is not the point of this video. The point is the fat combination with the meat.
Mm-hmm. I like how crispy the outside got.
Mm-hmm. It's extremely coarse because we didn't grind the meat through twice or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not anywhere near too much fat.
Mm-mm.
Nowhere near too much fat.
I eat that for breakfast easy.
If you order a chopped steak at a restaurant, that's about what you're going to get, with the one exception. It's not going to be deer meat, and it's not going to be Mangalitsa fat. This is great. All right, we're going to do a 60-40 batch. We're looking for a total of 7 ounces just to make it a little smaller so that maybe I can make it through the day without bursting a gut. So 4.2 ounces of fat,
Correct.
2.8 ounces of meat.
Yes. Spot on.
All right. How's it looking?
We are 7.1. Yeah, we're at 7.1.
All right.
Now we're at 7.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're going to mix this batch, fry it up too, and the Camp Dog went down pretty easy. I think I'm going to do that again.
I think we've got it.
All right. Okay, good particle definition, and it looks creamy. I like that look. I think it's going to be good. Let's try it. This is our 70-40, 60-40, is that right?
This is the 60-40.
60-40 batch. This is Camp Dog seasoning. Can you read that? Can you read that? She is, by far, I think in Tennessee, she is probably the most well-represented girl as far as Camp Dog. I don't see how it could be any different. We're going to try it. Now, I don't know how hot it is, Grace. Is it hot? It's not burning you?
Nope, she's going for a second piece.
It's got a crispy crunchiness. It is not as coarse as the first batch because we did grind it 3 times this time. We made sure of that.
Very moist on the inside.
Very moist, and the particle definition is what allows you to get away with this. Look like onions in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's fat.
So can you tell, is that deer, pig, wild hog, or rabbit?
It's wild hog.
It is deer. It's pure deer. Pure, wonderful deer.
You want some more?
No.
Okay.
This was a 7-ounce patty.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so good, so good. And that's the only camp dog, there's nothing else on it. So the next batch is gonna be 70-30, and that batch, we might need to add a binder. I've got a binder that's carnivore friendly. Let's throw it in there, just a little bit to add a little bit of power to this. We'll see if it helps, because when you flip these burgers, they wanna fall apart. They really do want to fall apart. But that right there fell apart in my mouth and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the 70-30 batch. We're doing 4.2 ounces of fat, 1.8 ounces of meat. And if you don't know that, I had to drill that into my brain so I'd say it right. Because numbers and me we don't add up together very clearly. But when it comes to meat and fat, we do add up clearly. You can see. But for those of you who think I'm gonna get fat today eating all this, you can think again, because ever since I went on carnivore, I lost 25 pounds. I've hit a plateau. I haven't lost pounds in a few weeks, maybe a month or two. I don't know why I hit that plateau, but you know, if I keep losing, I'm gonna completely disappear, and I don't wanna do that. So we gotta stop somewhere. Non-fat dry milk. That's what we're gonna use as a binder. Not gonna measure it, I'm just gonna sprinkle some in there. Just like that.
Hey, a little milk with your meat never hurt.
That's right, that's gonna be good.
It's hanging together better.
Good. Ah.
I mean, it's not even wanting to fall off my fingers.
Nice and sticky, that's what you want for a bind. When it comes to getting a good bind on a sausage, a lot of times what you need is that mixing action. But something that a lot of people don't realize is we didn't add any salt to this mix before we mixed it. So there's two different proteins that we're not getting extracted, because when you add salt to meat, don't ask me what those names of those proteins are. Two Guys in a Cooler is the man that taught me about it and taught the whole world really if they would watch him. He's a great, great teacher on this. I'm sort of a student. I'm trying this out. This is a 70-30 blend with a little dry powder milk, and then we're gonna try that now.
That'll work. Oh, that looks pretty.
That was not too spicy, so I'm going to go ahead and go back with the original again and give it a nice coating. That does look great. There it is. All right, Miss Grace is making bread. It don't break my heart because I don't eat bread. I mean, it might hurt somebody's heart, but no, it don't break my heart because actually I don't even crave that bread anymore. This is 70-30. I want you to look at that. Nice fat definition. It held together pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I had to flip it gently, but it held together great with that with the milk binder.
I could have even put more camp dog on it, to be honest with you.
It got that charred outside.
Got a very good charred outside, and it doesn't have a burnt taste at all. Charbroil. Eat your heart out, hearties.
Delicious.
Grace, you want a piece? No? Yes?
Sure.
Oh! I'm gonna eat this one. It's kind of black. almost like that chard out the best.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. I think that the powdered milk even gave it a creamier flavor.
I think it did too because there's something different.
Yeah, and it's not a bad difference.
Mm-mm.
It's a good difference.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go, 70-30. The next, you know what's coming next, 80-20. Okay, this is getting fun now. We got 1.2 ounces of meat, 4.8 ounces of fat. It's getting good, I'm liking this.
Still my Redmond is done.
That binder's helping.
Yeah.
Brothers.
How does it smell?
Waiting with bated breath. It smells amazing.
Grace, that is a beautiful loaf.
Well, it's not a loaf yet, but it will be.
It would be if you threw it in the oven just like that, it would be a loaf.
Well, I have to let it rise
Oh.
until it's double.
Well, see, that's why you're the professional bread maker and I'm not. All right, folks, 80-20, 80% fat, 20% meat. Let's see what it's like. You can break you off a piece there. Miss Grace is making biscuits now. That girl is just getting with it. So it breaks apart easy,
Mm-hmm.
but it held together nicely.
Mm. Mm.
Absolutely.
It's perfect. I like it a lot.
Unbelievable.
Grace,
Yeah.
I know your hands are bready, but over the
This
last
is as good as bread ever tasted. That's Camp Dog. She said it's crunchy.
she got the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you a piece that's just inside if you want.
That crunchy is so good.
How's the flavor though?
To me, I tasted a little bread. Do you taste bread? There's a taste there.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. It's got to be the milk, you know, it's got to be the powdered milk, but it almost tastes.
There's something there. I can't put my finger on it. And it doesn't taste like bread to me, but
Not necessarily bread,
mm-hmm.
almost like a cracker
Mm-hmm.
flavor.
I like the crunchies.
Mm-hmm. That's unreal. That is unreal. Now you're looking at a couple carnivores that think that fat's good, okay? Can't help it.
Mm-hmm. But there we have a non-carnivore who also likes it.
Yes.
I call her my little closet carnivore.
Yep, she's a closet carnivore. Mm.
But she also thinks she needs her bread and her vegetables and her fruit.
Well, yeah. And she gets them.
I do like them.
You can see right here, she don't do without it. 80-20. You know what comes after 80-20?
90-10.
90-10. You didn't think we'd get to 90-10. I didn't think we'd get to 90-10. The 80-20 held together. 90-10, let's do it. To do a 90-10, we're gonna do 5.4 ounces of fat and 0.6 ounces of meat. I know it's insane. I already know it's insane. But you know what? It's insanely good.
Yes.
Oh,
We got
my
it.
goodness. Look at this, folks. This is unbelievable. Powdered milk. All right.
Come on, Missy, drink some more.
We have coloration.
Hopefully this time I don't clean my biscuit
Wow.
to the floor. I had to pull it up so that it didn't.
Really?
All right, here we go. All right, I've got people on YouTube that call me son. especially Jack. But Jack liked Frank, and Frank called me son. I call Frank son, and Jack calls everybody son, or at least he calls me son. This is crunchy. It's still hot. I don't know if it's too hot or not. I can eat really hot things. Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Okay. Careful when you take a bite.
It's also pretty good.
Mmm.
There's no sugar in that, is there?
Mm-mm.
It tastes sweet. Other than the lactose that might be in the powdered sugar, I don't know. Powdered milk.
Yeah, I mean the Camp Dog I think has a little bit in it.
Yeah, Camp Dog
But
has a little.
it's negligible.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the fat.
It tastes sweet through and through to me.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Does Hunter like it?
what do you think?
Good, bad, or indifferent?
I think it has too much fat in it.
You think there's too much fat in it?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, what about the flavor?
Tastes good.
Tastes good. All right. If I can get it taste good, that's enough to make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be eating no lunch today. McGie is well satiated. Unbelievable. How many? We did 50, 60, 70, 80,
Now 90.
90.
It's 5 patties.
Your mom and I have eaten 5 of these today.
Mm-hmm.
We're not hungry. This was a 90-10.
Mm-hmm.
90-10. You know what comes next. You don't want to say it because you feel like it would be borderline insanity. I'll say it for you because I'm already beyond that borderline percentage. 100%. Let's do it. All right, Grace is going to show us what she made here.
So I made some bread and hey,
Oh, that little turkey.
quit it.
She going to get you, Miss Camp Dog.
This is
Oh.
what I made. So my
Are they
dough-
still in the process of rising?
Yes.
Don't touch it. It won't. It'll fall. Oh my goodness. She's gonna have to warp him.
Some biscuits
Oh,
and
a loaf. Miss
my
Miss
brother's-
Camp Dog Grace.
my brothers really like my bread, I guess, because
Mmm.
last time I made some, they ate it straight from the oven.
Ooh. And didn't even give you a chance to get a picture of it before they started chomping it down.
Nope.
That was rough. Maybe they'll leave it alone just long
Well,
enough.
they will. We've already established those.
Oh. Let's make it 100%.
So 6 ounces of pure fat.
Pure fat is what they use when they make lard. What do you hear every time somebody makes lard? They talk about what? The cracklins. How good the cracklins were. They put cracklins in cornbread. They just want to salt the cracklins and eat them plain. That's what we're making here. It is going to be, I'm going to pick that little bit of meat out because I don't want no meat in my crackling burger. This is going to be a crackling burger, 100% fat. We're going to add some of this in there. The only thing other than fat is going to be powdered milk, and this is about gone. I'm going to get my other one out. I keep non-fat dry milk on hand always for just such occasions because when it comes to making a binder that is carnivore friendly, the powdered milk is where it's at. I'm going to do this and do it right. One thing that keeps jumping up with each batch is that one flavor that I think is the powdered milk. It may be the fat.
It could be.
I'm not 100% sure. We're not going to be extracting no protein from this batch.
All right, I believe she's mixed. And it went.
We went ahead and seasoned this fat patty. We're going to call it the crackling burger. We went ahead and seasoned it with Camp Dog. If you're interested in having some Camp Dog of your own, just drop down in the descriptions of this video, and I've got it in there. If you order it from there and use the promo code McGee, you can get 20% off your order, and it's already dirt cheap and tastes like gold. Here we are, folks, the 100% fat. Now, we can't call it a sausage. I'm gonna call it a crackling burger. As you see here, it got pretty crispy, but that's what we like. This is gonna be interesting. I have no idea if it's gonna be as good as the 10% meat. This is 0% meat. I want you to look here at Mangalitsa fat. Now that's what this is. This is Mangalitsa fat. Unbelievable health benefits, but it's not like every other pork fat that you've ever eaten or heard of in your life. It actually is quite healthy for you. They say it potentially could prevent heart disease and what was the other one?
Cancer.
Cancer and heart disease? Who ever heard of a pork fat doing that?
Pork fat's usually the bad guy. That is so good.
That right there has a flavor. Just savor. Now what would be probably better, I don't know for sure, if it was deep fried. Then the center might even be a little bit crunchy. I kind of think that might be good. Cracklings are deep fried by nature because what you're doing is you're boiling that lard down so your grease gets deeper and deeper and deeper until everything is completely submerged. That by definition is deep fried. Cracklings by definition are deep fried fat. So we basically have a crackling burger here. I'm so full I will not be eating lunch today.
Neither will I.
What's the point?
No.
So there you go. Amazing health benefits with the fat. There's people that probably turned this video off a long time ago because they think this is the most unhealthy thing and they would never do it. When in actuality, it's only unhealthy for you if you're eating sugar. If you're not eating sugar, the fat goes straight into your energy source and it's used up. If you're eating a lot of sugar, the fat is not used because your body always goes to the glucose first. That's the preferred energy source for your body just by default. And so if you're eating sugar, you cannot burn the fat. The fat stores in the body and actually gets in your blood. That's what triglycerides is or are, whatever the correct pronunciation is. Triglycerides, fat in your blood, only caused if you're eating sugar. If you're not eating sugar, that if you have triglycerides and you stop eating sugar and you're eating fat, your body will burn that right out of your blood. You will use that for energy and you'll stop having the pain and the whatever triglycerides cause. I know they say it causes a lot of pain. I've not had that problem. That's not why I went on carnivore, but I'm glad I went on carnivore. My energy levels soared out the roof and I started feeling way better. If you followed this channel for a couple years, you probably noticed, although when I get on camera, that kind of peps me up. But the people I was working for was very concerned about me because I just had very little energy. Ever since carnivore, I've had big energy, been doing great. This is kind of a stunt type of video that you would do as a stunt, but not for me really. This is really good. And I enjoyed it. It's been a fun morning doing these tests, seeing what the different levels of meat ratio with fat is. Really, really good. As far as what was your favorite as far as all, how many did we do? 6? 5?
I think we did 6 or 7 of them.
50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. We did 6 patties. What was your favorite?
The one I liked best was the 90-10.
The 90-10?
Yeah, it had just a little bit of meat to add some flavor. But the fat with the milk powder, the taste was excellent.
Excellent. If my favorite wasn't that one, it would have been the 80-20, but it was definitely on the higher end. Definitely. So there you have it, folks. Really good stuff. If you get a chance to do it, if you have some meat and some fat and you can try it, you might actually like to do it just to see which one you like the best. And I really recommend mixing the powdered milk in because it gets really crumbly if you don't. But that is the only issue, and if you're fine with crumbly meat, that's fine too. But it really held together good with the powdered milk and nothing else. Literally nothing else. We didn't salt it, we didn't do anything. The camp dog went on the top, so it did not help hold it together. So there we go. That's our fat meat ratio sausage video. Hope you enjoyed it. We had fun, but we got to get out of here now. That's all we've got for you. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.